You've tried everything to clear your acne naturally, including cutting out sugar, dairy, gluten, buying expensive skincare routines, medications like birth control, Accutane, spironolactone, but you're still waking up daily with breakouts, right? You are not alone. I struggled with acne for over 15 years. I tried every elimination diet, paleo, keto, every skincare routine, proactive, all of the topicals, tretinoin, everything. And I still woke up every day with new breakouts like you. But when I stopped guessing and I focused on the real root causes, my skin cleared naturally in just 30 days, and it's stayed clear ever since. In today's video, I'm going to show the 3 secrets that changed everything for me, and these secrets that have helped over 1,000 women clear their acne naturally without pills, creams, hormones, and leave the house confidently in their bare skin. Let's discuss. The first secret that helped me clear my acne so fast was that dysregulated blood sugar equals inflamed skin. What no one told me, what every dermatologist, every doctor left out of the equation, well, conveniently, was that how your blood sugar fluctuates throughout the day deeply impacts your acne. Here's the science behind this. Now, I don't want you to feel like you have to become a biology major, but I really want you to get why this matters, because I also am not saying that cutting out sugar will clear your skin, okay? I want you to eat a donut. What I am saying, though, is how your blood sugar moves and changes and spikes and falls throughout the day can impact your acne. Here's an example of this in real time. So throughout the day, when you eat foods, your blood sugar is going to rise a little. Generally speaking, most foods, no matter what it is, even meat or like a high protein or a high fat, will generally increase your blood glucose levels a little. Then, because your body doesn't want your blood sugar levels to get too high, your pancreas releases insulin to lower your blood sugar levels back down. This is normal. This is healthy. This is like a good working body. This is how it should go. You want your blood sugar throughout the day to look a little bit like this, kind of like hilly, but not mountainy. Okay, keep this in mind. I'm going to come back to this because blood sugar dysregulation throughout the day can look very different. Let's say that food that we're talking about before that only minorly spikes your blood sugar. That's like an egg, an avocado on really quality seeded bread, for example. That's not going to shoot your blood sugar up a ton. That's just going to create these little like hills, and then your pancreas releases insulin, all good. Versus, let's say you grab just I really want this for some reason right now, a really big slice of chocolate cake. Okay? On an empty stomach, you've been starving for hours, okay? And you have a big slice of chocolate cake. When you eat that on its own, it gets converted into sugar very quickly, even in your mouth. It happens fast. And so your blood sugar immediately is like, right? It goes really high. It looks like a mountain, okay? And then what happens is your body doesn't want your blood sugar to get too high, so it'll release a lot of insulin. It's like, it's kind of like it sends out alerts. Like, okay, we were at level 180 with the egg and the avocado, but now we're at 270. So with this chocolate cake, we got to push out a lot more insulin, right? And again, this is a normal response, but what happens is when you eat really high sugar foods, you are going to have this really strong reaction of insulin, which is going to then crash you back down, as opposed to like the hill metaphor. So you're going to go like this. And then what happens, anytime we've had a blood sugar crash, right? And you find yourself starving again in a few hours, that's insulin and glucose kind of working against you a little bit. You've had too much sugar, so your body releases too much insulin. So now you think you're starving again because your blood sugar levels might have fallen a little bit too low. When functioning normally is good, but what you see over time is if you have these mountains throughout the days, weeks, and months, you get into a tricky situation because then this leads to an increase in other hormones, a hormone called IGF-1, which increases skin cell growth at the pore. All of these action steps can also increase sebum levels at the pore, which can then create more acne as well. So if your blood sugar is on a roller coaster throughout the day, so is your skin. And the key detail I want you to leave with about blood sugar stuff is that it's not about restriction, it's about stability, it's about management, it's about regulation, balancing, as opposed to just removing all sugar and never touching sugar. That will actually usually get you the opposite results because then you'll go hypoglycemic, and that's not good either. My client Cassie was such a good example of this. She was terrified of bread. She was convinced that any extra sugar was causing her acne. But once we taught her how to balance her blood sugar by eating protein and fiber with every meal, she realized she didn't have to restrict in such a significant, dramatic way. Her skin cleared within a few months. She went on a foundation-free, and she was eating her favorite foods every weekend at brunch, which, as we know, well, if you're just meeting me, I really like brunch. So this is the dream. Now, I always like to leave you with practical action steps, especially as it relates to that action step. So a practical checklist that you could use this week to take action on what I'm sharing are 3 action steps. Number 1, always pair carbs with proteins or fibers. So like apple, handful of almonds instead of just the apple. Number 2, you could eat balanced meals every 3 to 4 hours. Don't skip breakfast, definitely. Don't have coffee on an empty stomach. You really want to keep your blood sugar levels stable throughout the day. And swap naked carbs for smarter combo packs. So like I mentioned, avocado toast with an egg instead of just plain toast and butter. Let's discuss secret number 2 that also surprised me a lot. And that is that restriction doesn't heal, nourishment does. So put a figure down if you've cut out food for weeks or months or maybe even years, and maybe you saw progress. Let's say maybe it worked. But the second you had some cake or some wine at your best friend's wedding, your skin freaked out. Does that sound familiar? This was me. I thought that clearing my acne holistically in particular meant that I had to be perfect. But then that created other problems, right? I felt like I couldn't do anything. I couldn't eat anything. And I lived in this constant fear of food. But the truth is, and this is so important, restricting in this way leads you down a path that you cannot sustain for life. Nourishment is the only way. And when you focus on adding in the right foods to heal your gut, balance your blood sugar, balance your hormones, your skin gets the tools that it needs to clear itself from the inside out. You don't need perfection either. You need consistency. When you add in more nutrient-rich foods, you're giving your body the building blocks it needs to heal. So things like vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats that balance hormones, calm inflammation, and support your gut. Whereas restriction often creates really stressful nutrient gaps, which can make your acne worse. By focusing on nourishment over removal, your body feels supported and resilient, and your skin finally gets what it needs to clear naturally. One of my clients, Sherry, worked with a naturopath before me who put her on her super restrictive plan. She had no sugar, no dairy, no gluten, no alcohol, all these different things. She removed a lot of different foods and she was really anxious. She felt like she lost weight. She didn't want to. And when she joined the Clear Code, we focused instead on what she could add in. So colorful veggies, omega-3 rich salmon, zinc-rich seeds, and occasionally yummy glasses of wine. And on her girls' trip to France, she was enjoying wine, bread, and gelato, and her skin was glowing the entire trip. I mean, who doesn't want to go to France and drink some wine? Here's a 3-step checklist to focus on this secret for this week. And I want you to add these 3 things into your diet this week so that you're thinking from this perspective of nourishment as opposed to restriction. Number 1, I want you to add in omega-3s daily in some way, shape, or form. So that could be salmon, sardines, chia flax seeds. One of the easiest ways to get chia seeds in is by adding them to your smoothie. Number 2, adding in at least 3 colorful vegetables on your plate every day. And number 3, having mineral-rich foods like pumpkin seeds, oysters, or dark leafy greens. Thinking about what can I add instead of what can I cut out will not only impact your skin in a really powerful way, but it'll also impact your mental health throughout the experience. Having acne is hard enough. Having acne is heavy enough. You want to make the process of clearing it as light as possible. And one of the best ways to do that is via nourishment as opposed to restriction. Here's secret number 3. And I love this one. It's like a little catchphrasey, but it's really relevant for you. And that's to focus on data, not drama. Now, again, I say this as a self-professed drama queen, okay? And what I see most of us doing, right, especially with acne, because like we just shared, it's so stressful. It feels so heavy. It makes us feel so anxious. It makes us not want to go anywhere. Is you'll do a lot of research on your own and you'll find something, right? You'll think, okay, this new skincare routine, this new restriction, I'll just cut out gluten. I'll do something, right? We think that way. And we do it for 2 to 3 weeks, maybe. And then we don't get the results that we want. Of course not, right? Because that isn't the right action step in the first place. But either way, we don't get the results that we want. And then we switch to something else. Or maybe we see a little bit of changes, but we're not entirely sure. And so then you switch to something else, right? So you're on this like hamster wheel, literally every month of new things, new methods, new treatments, new it's like so overwhelming. It wastes so much money, so much time, energy, and you feel more hopeless every time because you're in like a downward spiral of progress, right? You're not really getting anywhere. It's just spiraling you into more despair about your skin. What actually works is shifting from making emotional choices, like I feel like my skin is worse today, right? It may be, but you want to switch from that to data-driven choices, which is something like my photos look 10% less red this week compared to last week. And here's why this matters. When we use our emotions to determine what's going on with our skin, every new breakout feels like a failure. It's easy to panic, switch up routines, or to stop using everything altogether. But when you track your progress with real data, you can zoom out and see the bigger picture. And overall, you can see that your skin is improving week over week, even if there are ups and downs, or let's say your skin actually is getting worse. You can put whatever thing you decided to do to bed. Like, you never have to think about it again. You know that doesn't work, which even though it doesn't work, it's not great. It's still a really great affirmation of, okay, next. Here's what this looks like when you break it down into a 3-part data tracker for clear skin. So the first step I'd recommend would be to take weekly photos, 2 to 3 photos every week in the same lighting, same angle, and you'd place them side by side. This lets you see gradual improvements, or if things aren't getting better, you can also see that as well in a way that's really objective as opposed to from an emotional lens. Step 2 is a daily habit log, outlining your 3 top daily habits, let's say. In the Clear Code, we focus on a lot more data because I really want to look at everything. But for you to get started, you can look at what you're eating, where you are in your cycle, and how your digestion is, for example. You could keep it really, really simple just to make sure that you know, generally speaking, what's happening in your day that could potentially be contributing to positive or negative results. The third step is to do a monthly reflection or even a weekly reflection if you like. Again, in the Clear Code, we check in week over week, but you really want to look at the end of each cycle, however long you decide the cycle to be. And you want to be able to say, is my skin worse? Is it better? Is it 5 to 10% better, which is what we aim for in the Clear Code? Is it 60% worse? How many new breakouts? You really want to look at this objectively. And if you're finding that your skin is improving, all you have to do is stay consistent. This is another thing. We do this as humans. I do this too. When things are working, we sometimes change them. I do this too. I don't know why. But it's like, oh, your skincare routine is working. And we'll think, oh, okay, I don't need to use that product anymore. Oh my gosh, no. Right? Like that's when you need to use it. So if things are working, nobody move. I use that phrase a lot in the Clear Code. I say, nobody move. Don't change anything. But if things aren't, you need to adjust one variable at a time. Do not change all of your supplements. Don't change all of your topicals. Very strategic and deliberate changes. Again, that's what we focus on in the Clear Code. If you change your whole life overnight and you get results, it is very difficult to know which action steps created the results that you were seeking. Jessie is a perfect example of this. She used to panic at every new breakout and she would constantly jump from routines, right? She really had a lot of trouble staying consistent because she just couldn't tell what was working and what wasn't working. And once we started tracking and analyzing her food, skincare, stress, and weekly photos, she realized she was actually improving at a 5 to 10% rate, which is what we focus on in the Clear Code. And within a few months, her hormonal and jawline acne was completely gone. So let's do a little recap. These are pretty simple secrets, but I kind of like to share these sometimes because a lot of videos of mine go really in depth and I want to give you high level sometimes. So the 3 secrets that helped me clear my acne naturally in 30 days with food, yes, 30 days, and continue to help my clients go makeup free very, very quickly, are dysregulated blood sugar equals inflamed skin, restriction doesn't heal, nourishment does, and track data, not drama. And imagine using all of these secrets if you could wake up in 2 to 3 months from now and touch your face and it feels smooth. You haven't been obsessing about what you're eating. You know exactly what to eat to keep your skin clear. You know the perfect topical routine for your skin. Imagine waking up feeling that level of freedom. That is what's possible for you when you start to apply some of the principles that I'm sharing in this video. Also, if you want to go deeper into a lot of these principles, we have a Clear Code Glow Guide that you can download via the link below. The free resource that gives you my top food, skincare, and lifestyle steps so that you can start your journey towards clear skin without stress or restriction. Or if you are ready to just get someone to help you with this, because you've been struggling with these things on your own for a while and you want support, we use all the principles that I shared today and way more, obviously, in my natural acne clearing program, the Clear Code. Within 24 hours of joining, you'll have your entire Clear Code plan outlined. You'll know your root acne triggers and you'll have an action plan in place that's customized for you and your skin to start to clear your acne naturally from the inside out. So apply via the link below. Thank you for being here. If you know anyone who would benefit from this video, please send this over to them and make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the like button to make sure that you're on the list and you know when the next video comes out. All right, see you in the next one.